Today marks 3 years since my book, Radical Embodiment, A Practical Guide to Celebrating the Skin You're In, was published. Yay! So if you're someone who is desiring, if you want to feel more confident, more at home, more alive in your body, this book is for you. This book is a resource that you can turn to time and time again. I've been gifted and blessed over the last few years hearing different readers' takes and profound takeaways of what the book meant for them. And one story that really sticks out, one reader shared with me that anytime she'd go to the beach, she would bring her copy of Radical Embodiment. And before it was time to put on her bikini to go down and enjoy the beach, she would just flip it open and read a passage. And what she found that supported her in was just being able to enjoy the sensation of the sun on her skin, to feel connected, to be present and not be caught in her head, worried about how her body looked in a bikini. I thought that was really profound and really beautiful use of this book. And that's what Radical Embodiment's really about. It's a way to return to yourself. So it's not about chasing perfection, but instead choosing presence time and time again. And writing of the book was such a gift. It was, as you may imagine, deeply reflective, healing, and cathartic. But the editing of it, the editing was a whole other story because this book is pretty vulnerable. I share a lot of personal stories in there. Parts of myself that I'd never spoken about publicly, let alone that was going to be printed forever. So editing wasn't just about, okay, let's get the structure of the book right, let's get the grammar. I was actively processing as I was actively editing, meaning every line I would read, I was feeling everything again. And so there was a lot of deep healing happening for me between the lines, while I simultaneously was running my full-time Rolfing practice, as well as working full-time as the head coach for a high-level program for high-achieving women. So all that to say, I was holding a lot. And so after the book was published, after that big expansive moment, I went into some contraction, just like Mother Nature, right? There's the expansion of the blossoms of the flowers, and then they maybe need to contract. So I think often for a lot of us, after a big creative endeavor, we need to rest. And I think it's a part of the creative cycle. It feels important to normalize that you're birthing something, you're creating something. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of emotion. And so often after that, it's important to recognize, acknowledge, ideally ahead of time if you can, that rest is likely going to be required. So that's my little plug that I wanted to share around normalizing the creative cycle of having rest, allowing ourselves more rest, more integration time. And if you haven't read Radical Embodiment, again, go and purchase yourself a copy. The link is below. And if you have read Radical Embodiment, I would love to hear your favorite passage or story. If you've read it, you know every chapter ends with a specific practice. So if there was a practice that really stood out for you, that you rely upon time and time again to come back into presence, to come back home to you, please share and drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear. And if you want to go deeper into this work, please be sure to subscribe right here on YouTube. Every week going forward, I will be sharing grounded, practical, real tools for feeling strong, confident, and sensual in your body. So think like simple movement practices, emotional aliveness tools, and somatic teachings to get you out of your head and into your life. So if you're ready to stop playing small and start living fully, subscribe And I will see you next week. You'll want to be here. I have some fun things to be sharing with you. So thanks for tuning in and celebrating with me my book baby's 3rd year anniversary. Cheers.